Hi, my name is Caroline Collins, and I chose to read an excerpt from Catcher in the Rye. I really enjoyed reading this book in my high school, but in many high schools this book has been banned for sexuality, for the use of foul language, for promoting underage drinking in some situations, and I really enjoyed reading this book, so here's the excerpt that I chose to read. After he left, I looked out the window for a while with my coat on and all. I didn't have anything else to do. You'd be surprised what was going on the other side of the hotel. They didn't even bother to pull their shades down. I saw one guy, a gray-haired, very distinguished-looking guy, with only his shorts on, do something you wouldn't believe if I told you. First, he put his suitcase on the bed. Then he took out all these women's clothes and put them on. Real women's clothes. Silk stockings, high-heeled shoes, brassieres, and one of those corsets with the straps hanging down and all. Then he put on this very tight black evening dress, I swear to God. Then he started walking up and down the room, taking these very small steps, the way a woman does, and smoking a cigarette and looking at himself in the mirror. He was all alone too, unless somebody was in the bathroom. I couldn't see that much. Then in the window almost right over his, I saw a man and a woman squirting water out of their mouths at each other. It probably was highballs, not water, but I couldn't see what was in their glasses. Anyway, first he'd take a swallow and squirt it all over her. Then she did it to him. They took turns, for God's sake. You should have seen them. They were in hysterics the whole time, like it was the funniest thing that had ever happened. I'm not kidding, the hotel was lousy with perverts. I was probably the only normal bastard in the whole place. And that isn't saying much. I damn near sent a telegram to old Stratlater telling him to take the first train to New York. He'd been the king of the hotel. The trouble was, that kind of junk is sort of fascinating to watch, even if you don't want it to be. For instance, the girl that was getting water squirted all over her face, she was pretty good looking. I mean, that's the big trouble. In my mind, I'm probably the biggest sex maniac you ever saw. Sometimes I can think of very crummy stuff I wouldn't mind doing if the opportunity came up. I even see how it might be quite a lot of fun, in a crummy way. And if you were both sort of drunk and all, to get a girl and squirt water or something all over each other's face? The thing is, though, I don't like that idea. It stinks if you analyze it. I think if you don't really like a girl, you shouldn't horse around with her at all. And if you do like her, you're supposed to like her face. And if you like her face, you ought to be careful about doing crummy stuff to it, like squirting water all over it. It's really too bad that so much crummy stuff is a lot of fun sometimes. Girls aren't too much help either. When you start trying not to get too crummy, when you start trying not to spoil anything really good. I knew this one girl a couple of years ago that was even crummier than I was. Boy, she was crummy. We had a lot of fun though, for a while, in a crummy way. Sex is something I don't really understand too hot. You never know where the hell you are. I kept making these sex rules for myself and then I break them right away. Last year I made a rule that I was going to quit horsing around with girls that deep down gave me a pain in the ass. I broke it, though, the same week. I made it, the same night, as a matter of fact. I spent the whole time necking with this terrible phony named Anne Louise Sherman. Sex is something I just don't understand. I swear to God, I don't. Well, that was my excerpt from Catching in the Rye, and I hope you enjoyed.